howling for you.
Live again with WolfcastTV. I'm Dario.
And I'm Seamus O'Houlihan. Happy St. Paddy's Day.
Apparently so. And I thought I was getting in the St. Paddy's Day spirit, but you, of course, outdid yourself. So
cheers to you.
Cheers to you, and a cheers to everyone there.
I'm actually your co-host, Chris.
Actually, you know what? We messed that up.
Oh.
We have to do it again. That's
all right, fair enough.
Happy St. Paddy's Day. Yeah.
I think we could strive for one better.
Eventually we just want to get through the entire case of beer here. But as the commercial says, drink like a brewer, drink responsibly. Don't drink and vidcast at the same time. But anyways, let's get on to our vidcast for today. We had a couple of games the Wolfpack had this week. They played Sheffield last Sunday.
Regular season
game. And then in the Challenge Cup, they played the powerhouse.
The
Kells.
Ladbrokes Challenge Cup. You cannot forget sponsorship.
The Ladbrokes Challenge Cup, where they played that powerhouse team, Kells.
I know a little bit about the Challenge Cup, and... Pardon me?
Nothing. Continue.
I didn't realize that Kells was an amateur team. So yes, they won. Convincingly, but if you look a little further, not so much.
Well, again, no discredit to Kells at all. They put on a very fine performance. But even like Sheffield the week before, again, it seems like this. It seems a lot like last year.
Yes.
Right? Where there's enough
for the
talent.
Challenge Cup, you mean?
For any of the games that they played there, that again, you have players that are made up of Super League and Championship type quality, playing against players that are not Super League Championship type quality. It is what it is, but you still have to play and win the games because sometimes things don't happen the way they should, as we found out in the NCAA finals of this tournament, with UNBC beating number 16 for the first time in history, beating number 1 Virginia.
And how long is the history of the NCAA?
That's for 30 plus years. So now the 16th seed is now a grand total of 1 and 135. But you don't even have to look, to a different sport. You look at rugby, and this weekend alone in the Ladbrokes Challenge Cup, 2 teams from League One, Whitehaven, and New York Knights.
Yep.
Up to Keats. They defeated championship teams, so it is possible. I think York beat Swinton, and Whitehaven wound up beating the Dewsbury Rams. So, again, upsets do happen. So, not taking anything away from the Wolfpack, you still have to go out there, you still have to play, you still have to win the games. But they were winnable games
now,
for sure.
You mentioned something to me about this cup a little bit before we did this, and that it's round 4.
Correct.
Do you know what happened in Toronto's first 3 rounds of this tournament?
Yes, they didn't play.
So how did they get to the 4th round?
They get to the 4th round because of the...
I'd like to be in a tournament like that. I made it all the way to the 5th round. How many games have you played? None.
It actually makes a lot of sense there because
I don't know so much about it yet.
Because there are so many teams that play rugby league, and in terms of the amateur sides, what they wind up doing, the competitions open up to a certain number of them. They
72 teams, I think.
They wind up going through certain rounds to get to a certain level, and then again, League One teams would enter a couple of rounds ago. And then this round, obviously, the championship teams, Super League teams, for example, have yet to come in.
So it's kind of like a buy-in as you get further in the tournament.
Correct.
Like you don't want to have 6-year-olds playing against 12-year-olds if you're playing in a kind of a separation.
Right. And then what's going to happen then is, like, for example, this not coming up now for the next round is all the teams will get put into a pot again. And again, I'm not sure if Super League teams are coming this round or the next, but they all get put in a pot and then they'll be drawn against each other.
And it is a single elimination too.
It is.
One loss and see you later.
As Dewsbury and Swinton found out. But again, like I said, upsets do happen. You have to play the games. But so congratulations to the Wolfpack. 2 victories that they've earned. And they're coming up next week. They're playing Rochdale Hornets, who unfortunately are also near the bottom of the table.
And they're not playing at home yet.
No, the game is not
Keep
at the
waiting.
Den. They have to wait a little bit longer. Mind you, like they should be playing over here because I went out and just a short sleeve shirt. Hold on.
I'll take care. I'll help you with your problem here.
You'll be better. a short-sleeved shirt, and a couple of the games in the Challenge Cup.
Again,
Ladbrokes Challenge Cup.
postponed.
Were postponed today because there was snow and minus 9-degree weather. So yeah, you should be playing in Toronto here. You got that?
We welcome you to come.
Yes. But the one thing that actually happened this week that I really want to get into, and for everyone out there, please by all means let us know your comments as well on the YouTube here, because it's something that I found a little bit unusual. The Toronto Wolfpack have signed another player, and Gareth O'Brien. He came from the Salford Red Devils.
From Super League.
From Super League.
Okay.
And they also were very close, apparently, as the rumor goes, that they're about to get Liam Watts.
Are still about to.
Were about to.
So they missed out.
They missed out because Castleford came in and wound up getting him, paying
more money
money for him. So, okay. And on top of that, from what I heard as well, but Jake Butler-Fleming has now been loaned out, I believe, to Batley.
He was our recent acquisition.
He was a recent acquisition. So,
and loaned out to where? Sorry,
I believe it was Batley. Not 100% sure, but I believe it was Batley, which is League One.
For what?
And that's what I'm trying to find out. I don't know if this is...
is he new to rugby? Like, remember when they got the kid, Quinn... Nawadi.
Yeah.
Nawadi, I'm not sure.
And
still, they sent him down to another team.
Right, to get more playing time there.
Because he's new. That's understandable.
Ryan Burrows as well.
Yes.
They sent down, not because necessarily that Ryan's new or anything like that, but he wasn't going to crack the lineup here. In this regard, as far as I can tell, and again, just to help him develop. But these are players that were on the team. You know, they brought in Butler-Fleming.
Yes.
Recently.
Yes.
And now they're...
Now I understand they lent out some players and things to the London Scholars and some of the development of junior rugby players. They want to get them into the teams. That all for promoting and developing the sport. What the hell are they doing?
Well, and that's a question.
I don't understand it.
Is there, and again,
there's no, as far as I know, there's no like B League or send them down to the minors like they do in baseball.
Well, this is sort of that way. This is how they do it. A lot of they follow the model in football or soccer, where they loan out players a lot more. Now, you look at it from an earlier perspective, early in the season. Again, take it back to just prior to when they lost the 3 players right before the season started
at the
training camp in Portugal, and you wonder and you go, okay, that threw a big wrench.
Yes,
and I knew that they had to make, their plan.
There was a panic.
Chucked out the window.
Yes,
and the panic and filled out, and you started seeing a couple more players being added and being filled. But I'm wondering now if that loss to the London Broncos
has kind of lit a fire.
I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a panic. I don't know if this is part of their original plan to begin with.
You want to see them do something smart that I'm going to bitch and complain about? I've said it now for a couple of weeks. I've seen so many issues with QLT not performing, and I don't want to. It doesn't. It might seem like I'm picking on them.
You're picking on them.
Thanks.
I love you, QLT.
I'm not going to touch that if he gets injured. God help me.
Yeah, that's right.
But. Okay, do something with that. Build something around QLT. Get him some support. Do something. Help him develop. Get his confidence back. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, I'm also not a rugby coach. I don't have the understanding of it that they obviously do. But I'm an armchair critic. And I'm vocal.
A beer drinking armchair critic.
Like every rugby fan.
A Guinness beer drinking armchair critic. But again, with regards to QLT, he's had the last couple of games. He's been playing a lot better.
Yes, he has.
But also, let's take a look in terms of the competition too. It hasn't been as much as in terms of the earlier weeks.
But they've still, they've come into this level of the championship or of the league, and I don't know if it's a matter of they're getting their confidence is just from overconfidence. Like, hey, you know what? We got promoted. That was rightfully so. And in this league, they were kicking ass. With the exception of one loss and the draw, maybe they're starting to realize that, hey, you know what, we can't just come in here gung-ho, we need to have a better plan, and maybe that's what they're trying to build longer term.
And you know what, again, perfectly fine. You're looking at a team that, like I said, is 4-1-1. They sit currently 4th in the standings.
Yep.
And, not criticizing them in terms of the panic mode, we're opening up the question, because like you said, they might say, you know what, we want to plan for bigger things, we're planning for Super Leagues. That's why they pick up players like a Gareth O'Brien in terms of, and bring them in now, so then that way by the time they do reach Super League,
they've got
which will be next year,
exposure to somebody with experience in Super League.
well, there's more teamwork amongst the players, right? Because they're able to have more time in terms of playing together. Now, I look at that and contrast it with another team that should be competing for Super League, and that's Leigh Centurions. And what's happening with
You mean
them?
the old Toronto Wolfpack?
The old Toronto Wolfpack. Leigh Centurions are sitting closer to the bottom of the table at 1-5. I'm not sure if they fired the coach or lost their coach, but there was a statement by their president, Beaumont, who come out and said that, you know what, yes, they're not panicking, and he is still standing behind the team. And he said something interesting. He said he believes in his players there. Now, when an owner says something like that, to me it means I'm not going out and spending and buying more players to bring in, which is the opposite of what
building within.
I'm staying with my team the way it is. And he said he will add resources to bring in a new coach and see how that develops. Now, for me, Leigh is in a much more critical position than the Wolfpack. Our Wolfpack right now, they're a top 4 team. They would technically, if the season ended today, be fighting for advancing to the Super Leagues,
yeah.
where Leigh would be fighting to be able to just stay in Championship.
Okay, but all credit to Leigh for that. Their owner and is vocally communicating things. Toronto has always had an issue, as far as I'm concerned, with communication, advising the fans, even letting us know what's going on, organization, events, things like that. Now, I don't know if that's just perhaps the owner's personality.
What do they have to tell us, anyways?
Who knows? But there could be something going on saying, you know what, listen, we realize that we're in a tougher league this year, tougher division or tier. We're looking bigger picture. I want to know that stuff. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what these people are doing with my beloved Toronto Wolfpack.
Right, because you have a huge financial investment in it.
I have a vested interest of passion.
You have a vested interest that next week you may watch the Wolfpack or not, depending on what time the Formula 1
Well,
race
it
is
depends on what they communicate to me. If I don't get any communication,
Dear Wolfpack, you owe him nothing. Me, on the other hand, no, I'm just kidding. But no, like I said, not so much like
I would
with
like.
Hispanic Grove.
Let me one last. I don't want to rant too
Yeah.
much, but I would like to have a little bit more communication in regards to letting the fans know, letting myself know, included what the plans are. I don't feel like that's coming through.
No, but you know what? I don't think that's necessary to come from any sporting team.
No, it's it's not. They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want. It's just our responsibility to raise the questions.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to do, which we did. But like I said, not so much all these moves, not necessarily a bad thing. Could be a good thing, like you said.
Don't
Maybe
know.
they decide to say, oh, Rob, we'll find out as the season progresses, and we find out more in terms of how they're producing on the field. Because at the end of the result, it's winning on the field that counts.
And it is 6 weeks in.
Yes.
It's early in the season.
Yeah, I say that. But you know what?
And still
For Leigh, it's
at
not early
home.
in the season. I'm telling you, they've dug themselves quite a bit of hole. And although they can still come back from it, it's really going to be tough when you have teams playing as well as London and Toulouse and the Wolfpack.
And so next week they're ending up playing Rochdale.
Rochdale, correct.
Rochdale. Okay. Well,
And then the true test, I guess, for Toronto Wolfpack fans comes the week after that, when they play that back-to-back in a very difficult fashion. I believe they play Toulouse and Featherstone.
yes.
And those are two of
Two of the tougher.
top 4 teams in the
Yeah.
league, right? In one weekend. So that should be a lot of fun there. But but other than that, best wishes to Bob Bessick. I know he got injured in the Sheffield game. I think everything is fine, but I don't know the full story with them.
Yep.
And let's keep plugging away.
We hope.
Yeah.
Well, they will. We hope plugging away and ending up with victories.
Yes, and hopefully everybody celebrated a very nice St. Paddy's Day, as we are now.
Enjoyable and safe. Cheers.
And if you realize, cheers. If the video is a little darker than normal, it's because we had to start later in the day because we had to keep rehearsing these, and somebody kept saying, sure, t-shirts, and it just didn't come out very well. And we drank more.
I remember that part.
You do? Yeah. Oh, very good.
Cheers.
And cheers. And cheers to you.
Cheers. Bye.